We've been talking about the slate and stylus for the last couple of days, and we have read an article about somebody who really got involved in a dilemma because she had all, well, we didn't know if it was a she or he, did we? We couldn't figure that out. No. We thought it was a she, but we didn't know when we looked at the name. It might have been a guy. But this person was out on the job, and how many different types of technology did he have?
A lot. Two or three.
Well, he had a laptop with JAWS, and he had a braille light, and he had backup for that. He had backup batteries for that, and he had backup cords for that, but those things all failed for him, and he was in a dilemma for taking interview notes, and what did he end up using?
His slate
and stylus. Okay, so you guys are going to play the brainstorming game right now. And in the brainstorming game, we're only going to take about, you're going to feel rushed, because we're only going to take about 2 minutes. That's real hard for me because I can't say anything the whole time you're doing this. We're going to take about 2 minutes for you guys to create as many situations as you can think of where you might need to use a slate and stylus. This can be when you're grown up. It can be right now. It can be yesterday. It can be tomorrow. It can be next year when you're in high school. But I want you to come up with as many reasons as you can think why you would need to use a slate and stylus. Okay? You'll get 2 points for every one you come up with. And then we're going to keep track of all the ones that you both have, and those will be times when we should maybe start using this slate and stylus more right here at school. Okay? So both of you open up your files and create a file. And I can't say ready, go until you both have a file open. Are you ready? Okay, ready. Are you ready? Okay. Anybody have any questions about what you got to do?
No.
Okay. Ready, go. Put a return between each one.
Yeah.
One more minute. Thirty more seconds. Ten, 9, oops, I'm counting so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Okay. How many did you come up with? Can you think of how many you came up with? Count how many you came up with.
I think it's 6
Okay.
or 7.
Came up with 6. How many did you come up with? 5. Okay. So we're going to trade now, and you guys don't need to use your earphones. What we're going to do now is we're going to trade Braille and Speaks. And go to top of file, and you read the first one.
Labeling papers.
Okay, labeling papers. Okay, so That's okay. We should always be worried about spelling, but I didn't give you any time for a spell check or anything. So gets 2 points for labeling papers. Okay. Read the first one.
Phone number.
Phone numbers. Good one. She gets 2 for that. Okay. Read the second one.
Up with labeling papers.
Ah. Okay. So labeling papers. We both get labeling papers. Okay. So that's one that.
I put phone numbers too.
Okay. You put phone numbers. Okay. Phone numbers. Phone numbers. Okay.
I don't know what he
Okay. We're to the third one.
We're on our third one. Okay, right.
Bills.
What is it?
I don't remember.
Read it again.
Writing a phone number for a person who's blind, I think it said.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was her second one?
That was her second one.
Okay. What was the second one?
Homework assignments.
Oh, writing down the homework assignment. Good idea. So I'm losing track here. I know that we have that we need to be labeling our papers. We need to be using it for phone numbers. You did homework assignments, so you get 2 for that. We're to her third one.
Yeah. Writing bills.
Writing bills.
Like signing your bill or something.
Okay, tell me more about that. How would you use the slate and stylus to sign your bill?
Like if you're totally blind, you can't write your name.
You might use it to keep track
Yeah,
of your
yeah,
bill.
yeah,
That's a real good idea. Somebody comes and reads in and says, this is your phone bill and it's $58.
Yeah.
And then you could label that right when after they read it to you. You could label it with your slate and stylus and say you can use PB for phone bill and then 58 for the dollars. Ooh, good one. Okay, what's your turn? What's your next one here?
Labeling papers.
Labeling papers. Okay, we already got that one.
Labeling
Letters and envelopes.
Letters and envelopes. That's a good idea. Okay, so labeling letters and envelopes. Okay, so we're not going to be writing any bills yet. That's a good idea, but we don't have to do that yet. Labeling envelopes, we might do that around here. Sometimes we give you parent envelopes, we give you parent information, and we say this is, sometimes you get one from me and one from Miss Beaver, and you might need to know which one is your parent information, so we might be able to use that here. Sticking that in the braille is not real easy, is it?
No.
Okay, whose turn is it?
I just read one.
Okay, that's your turn.
Leaving quick notes.
Quick notes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Writing your name for somebody.
Like a blind person or something. Like your name, your email address.
Oh, very good. Giving them personal information so they can get in contact with you. Okay, personal information, sharing that between another visually impaired person. Because if you write something down or Daniel or somebody wrote down information in print for you, you still wouldn't be able to refer to it. But if they could slate and style it for you, or you could slate and style it for, stylus it for, then you would be able to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Whose turn is it?
Mine.
Okay.
Remembering things you need to
Reminder.
Very good. Writing little notes to yourself to do stuff. Okay. That's a thing that we can do to do stuff here. Note to self. Okay, your turn.
That was the last one.
Okay. Last one? Okay. We've come up with 3 things that we should already be doing right now with our slate and stylus at school. Labeling papers, using it for phone numbers, and notes that you would write to yourself.
Yeah.
First step in doing that is that you guys have to be able to either have a slate and stylus with you, or we're going to have a slate and stylus up by our printer. We're going to keep a slate and stylus up there so that you guys don't have to be saying in class, which one of these is my science paper. You've been trying to keep them organized and in order, but then sometimes you might be handing in social studies and science. If you use that slate and stylus by the printer and you've got your paper labeled, then you'll know which one it is. It's going to take a little time, but it's a good way for us to practice. Okay, now, you guys know how the slate and stylus works. When you guys are Braille wizards, you switch back before we end up the wrong person taking the wrong device home.
Well, I don't have that.
Okay. Now, we could have gone over to the printer and printed this out. We had to make sure that we had batteries going. If our batteries had run low, that would have been a problem. Okay, you guys are wizards with Braille, aren't you?
Yes.
You guys are actually helping me out sometimes when I make my Braille errors. The Braille dot, and when you guys did your Braille and Braille and Speak just then, the Braille dots and that refreshable Braille came up from the bottom up, didn't it? Okay. And here's our braille cell, 1, 2, 3. How do we make it with the slate and stylus, though? Do we go from the bottom up, or what do we have to do?
Go from the right to left.
Well, you go from the right to the left, but we also go,
Down.
we have to go from the top to the bottom. So that dot has to go in the other direction, doesn't it? Okay? So we're going to talk for just a little bit. Whoops, I still got to get something that I forgot to bring over here. Sorry. Before we even pull out the slate, we're going to use, yep, tennis balls. We're going to, show me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1, 2, 3, 4. Or on the slate.
No, on a braille dot. It popped up like that, didn't it? 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. But if we have to go from the top to the bottom, show me what's going to happen to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's going to be reversed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, I'm giving you some. Get them in there where they belong.
Number.
Uh-huh.
Here's a 1 that I already
You already have. Okay,
I need
good.
4.
Okay, put it in where it belongs in the cell.
Oh, okay.
You need a 4. Okay.
That's the one my mom wants to learn braille with.
Slate and stylus?
No, with that.
Tennis balls?
idea.
It helps. Okay, I'm going to use that one to hold it, and I'm going to let you have your tennis balls keep from rolling around by being in this box. Okay. Okay. Now, you guys are better at calling out the numbers. You know what I do all the time. I called out 4.3 by mistake all the time. Okay. And this is the way you guys learned braille, was by, you know, A is 1, B is 1, 2, and you and used to just talk and number stuff. So what we're going to do is just go through the slate alphabet. Okay, if you were going to slate, use a slate and stylus to make an A, what would you do? Ta-da! B. Ta-da! C. Ta-da! D.
Wait.
Very good. E.
Wait.
Slate, slate, slate.
Yeah.
There.
Slate, slate. And this is the problem, I got you guys on two sides of the table. Do we have a match?
Yeah.
You have a match. Okay, good. F. I think I need to have you guys sitting beside each other. This is too much back and forth for me. Move over there, thanks. And you notice how we haven't called out any numbers yet, but you guys have just done it. Okay, do you guys have a match for your F?
No.
Okay, what makes an F? One, two.
No. That's a 1, 4, 5. A regular F.
You're right. What's a regular? 1, 4, 5 is a regular F?
That's a regular F. Right there.
That's a D. Okay, so what makes a regular F?
1, 2, 4.
1, 2, 4. Right. Okay. E. 1, 5.
Wait. Ooh. Regular or?
A regular E. We're just calling out the dots. Okay.
Regular E?
Okay. Let's go back to A. Let's go back to what we were comfortable with. A.
Are we doing this?
A. We're doing A.
A.
Are you doing it regular?
Slate A. Like you're punching the dots out. A. Okay. You're punching out the dots to a B. You're punching out the dots to a C. Okay. Here's our first toughie. You're punching out the dots to a D. 1. There you go. Good job. You're punching out the dots to an E. 1 and 5. Very good. You're punching out the dots to an F. 1, 2, and 4. Okay, you're going to be on the right side of you're going to punch out 1 and 2 and 4 for an F, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're punching out the dots for a G. We like those. Those are the easy ones, aren't we?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
same either way.
You're punching out the dots for an H, 1, 2, and 5. Okay. You're punching out the dots for an I, 4 and 2. Very good. Very good. And you're punching out the dots for a J, 4, 5, and 2. Okay. That's all we're going to work with the alphabet today. Okay. Let's go through just the first part of the alphabet again. And remember, I'm going to pull out the slate and stylus, and we're just going to do practicing holding it and putting the paper in and all of that. Let's just do the first part of the alphabet again one more time with tennis balls. A, B, C, okay, D, let's stop and think. 1, 4, and 5. Good. E, 1 and 5. F, that's a braille F. Let's do a slate and stylus F. There you go. Okay, G, H, I.
Oh,
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't check yours. Where's your H? The slate and stylus H. I thought it was correct. There you go. Okay. Slate and stylus I. 4, 2. Very good. 4, 2. Very good. And slate and stylus J. 4, 5, and 2. Okay. Now.
That's a regular J lesson.
Well, let's not talk regular and slate and stylus. Let's talk. A J is a J is a J is a J is a J. What makes a J?
J.
But what dots make a J?
2, 4,
2, 4, 5. Yeah.
2, 4, 5. Yes. Okay. So 2, 4, 5 is 2, 4, 5. Whether we're reading it like a braille cell 2, 4, 5, or if we're punching it out as 2, 4, 5. So we're either punching it or we're reading it.
Okay.
Okay? But it's not regular and slate. It's a J is a J is a J is a J. It doesn't change what cells we use. It just depends on if we're punching it from the top down or if the brailler or the braille and speak punched it from the bottom up.
Yeah.
Okay? Okie doke. I got a ton of little slates for you guys. And probably the one we're going to practice with today is one that I know you guys used in elementary school. What's this guy do?
The plasticky.
It's a plasticky kind. What's its shape?
The 3 by 5 card.
Very good. It's a 3 by 5 card would go in there. Okay. There is a 3 by 5 card in one of them. Okay.
Right.
This one is one of my favorite ones. And especially for the reasons that you guys talked about, for labeling your papers, for phone numbers. What do you think that top thing is for?
You could use that as a
signature guide.
signature guide.
Ta-da! So when you are doing your yearbooks at the end of the year, you can have this little guy with you.
Yeah.
Okay? And you could punch out a little braille message for someone. They would love to have that in their yearbook.
That would be
You can do
cool.
both. Okay? Then I've got some antique ones in here. One of the things that makes a slate and stylus,
We use that one.
We use the big metal one.
well, the plastic ones I think are easier because those notches on the plastic ones make it much easier to use. And I have one that I'm not even going to have you guys use because it's been used so much. I'm only going to show it to you. This guy's good because it holds the paper for you, and you can line them up. You can move the slate down the board, and it keeps it straight for you.
Cool.
But I want you both to actually feel the difference between, here's the stylus for you, and let me give you this stylus. Okay, which one do you want to use, this one or this one?
This one.
You want to use the rounded one? Okay. Okay, let me move some of this other stuff out of the way now. I need to show you one more. I want you to take those nice little plastic ones that I just gave you.
These.
And I want you just to go to the first cell on the top row on the far right. Very good. There, okay. I just want you to explore that cell. Explore the right side. Let's talk about how you're holding it. Okay, you're going to want to hold it straight up and down. And this guy has a little notch in him. So you're going to want to hold him like this. Okay?
Okay, so how are we going to hold it? Like
Oh, other way.
Like that. Okay, good.
Okay, and let me move this again. Okay, hold him again. Straight up and down. Okay, and I'm going to let you play with this one, but we might. Okay, let me show you something. You're going to need to push straight down. So see how my hand's on top of this so that I can use this part of my hand to push down on it? So you want to hold it a little bit like a pencil. There you go. That's better because then you're going to have more hand to push down on it. We're going to try with that one, but a lot of people find this one, especially with little hands, a little bit easier because it's got the little notch for you right in it for you to put your finger into. Okay, I want you to feel just dots 1, 2, and 3 on the right side of the first cell on the top row. See if you can go from 1 to 2 to 3. Just very good. I should be hearing some little notches going. Okay, and you don't necessarily even need to press down right now. I need to get a card in. Where did my index cards go? I know I have index cards. Here they are. And see if you can slide your index card out. So we don't know if there's any on that one, do we? Yep, you just slide it out like that.
Oh, there's Braille on it.
There's Braille on it, right. Okay, let's talk about this one. Oh, they're both the same. Okay, did you notice that on these index card slates that you guys have, can you only use one side of it?
No. You can use both.
You can use both. How many rows are on this side? With the opening to the right. How many rows are on that side?
4, 6.
6, okay. What do you have between the pairs of rows?
Line.
Okay. What do you have as you read from right to left? Okay. And what do those dots show you?
6 more things.
6 more things?
Or 8.
Let's see. Let's use your. You want to use your finger or you want to use this guy? Okay. Here's where the dot is. I'm going to use your finger there to keep your place. Go ahead and put it down. And use your finger to keep your place for where the dot is. And use this guy to count and see where he shows up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what starts at that dot? The 6th one. That dot's going to show you every 5 cells. Okay. We're going to get to a point that you really need to keep track. Where did I braille my last thing and where am I? And that's what all of that is for. Okay. Flip them over. What's on the other side? How many rows? 5. Okay. What does your fantastic Juliet Braille printer over there do for you?
Print it on both sides.
Prints it on both sides. You can print on both sides with this guy. So taking notes, taking phone numbers, you could put the person's name on one side, maybe put their phone number on the other side. This one we'll use for labeling your papers.
Yeah.
This one you guys may want to, I'll check them out to you. You guys can keep them. I would love for you guys to bring in some examples of how you've used your slate and stylus. As far as labeling a paper, though, that one won't work, will it?
No.
Okay. We can use this for doing vocabulary. Now this one,
Speaking of, that's what this card was.
Yep.
Vocabulary.
yep, this one does not have both sides.
No, it doesn't.
This one, the cell is a little bit bigger and a little bit easier to move around. This one is the hardest cell to move around because the notches aren't very good. And one last one that I need to show you. What's this one do?
That one has a little thing that comes.
What's different about that one?
This part can
It folds up and out.
It folds up and out. Why would it do that?
So you can fit papers in it.
Okay. Well, I can fit paper in this one, can I?
Yeah. Well, you can fit any size paper.
Well, let's compare these two right here.
Yeah,
They're the same length. They both have 4 rows. They both have a dividing line in the middle, so I can tell there's 2 above and 2 below. What is different about them?
this part
Why would that back flip out like that?
could be intricate. I don't know.
Do you always braille perfectly when you braille on the brailer?
No.
What do you have to do sometimes?
To make it straight.
Well, if you make a mistake, what do?
Erase.
Erase it. What this allows you to do, if I put my piece of paper in here, and I have to erase something, the dot came up, that's going to be hard for me to do, isn't it? And keep my place. If I open it, it's going to be harder. That one I can erase with. But we're going to start off with the index cards, okay? And we'll move on to these. Okay, each of you needs to get an index card and slide your index card into I like how you went ahead and put that against yourself. That worked good. And there may be an easier way of doing this that I don't know. Got hers in.
I'm still working on it.
I have never popped. This one I know pops open real easily. These, I've never been able to see. You slid it in, which is the way I've always done it. I've never been able to get these to pop open. And they break when you do that. So it's there to hold it in there good and snug. Glad I never tried it. Okay, what we're going to do first, the easiest thing for us to try and braille to explore this whole cell is some full braille cells. So that's what we're going to braille first. Let's have it both on the same side. Which side do we want to use? The side with...
The one with the 2 B's.
Okay, so we're going to start with the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we're going to do the 5 row or the 6 row. Let's do the 6 row, okay? And the other thing that we need to make sure is we're going to keep the opening over here on the left. Let's keep the same, okay? Let's keep the opening on the left. There you go. Okay, so we're going to start in that upper right-hand corner, and you're going to do a full braille cell, and we're going to challenge you to skip a space, and then another full braille cell. So you're going to do that 1, 2, 3, go to the right at the top. We're struggling to get that thing to pop, aren't we? Okay. So let's find that notch, and there you go. Find that notch and push. Find that notch and push. Okay. Wait a minute. No, you're not going to use 2 hands. Never use 2 hands. Because you need that finger to do exactly what you're doing. Push, push, push. Oops. If we're having to push that hard, if you're having to push that hard, then you're not in the right notch, because it's easy to push.
That one's already pushed down.
Oh, it's already pushed. Okay. Let me see how you did. Very good. Okay, skip a space and do it again. And I'm going to watch you. If you're wiggling and jiggling your hand, then you don't have your stylus in the right place, because it's real easy. Oh, you're wiggling and jiggling. So you got to figure, if I'm wiggling and jiggling, then I don't have my stylus in the right spot. Okay. Let me demonstrate for you first, okay? Oh, you had it. You had it. Okay.
When you do it, it makes a sound, and I was trying to do it the first time, it wasn't making the sound.
Okay, and you do that, sound helps, doesn't it? Okay. If you have the stylus straight up and down, that's going to help. But you don't want to do jiggling and pushing. You're going to feel that notch, and then slide down to the next one, and slide down to the next one. Okay, so go to the 4th one and try it. Let me see. Oops.
Yeah.
Let me see how you're doing. I like how you're keeping your place. Okay. Your little hands are warm. Okay, we're going to go 1, 2, 3 to the 4th one. Push. Okay, straight up and down. There you go. 2, 3, up to the top on the left. 1, 2, 3. Skip a cell. Skip a cell. And keep this finger up here to keep your place. 1. Oops. Okay, you picked it up, so it went down to the 3rd one. You want to keep that stylus against the edge, sort of like a little car. Okay, now go up to the top left. Keep them pushed against, oops, you skipped the middle one again. That middle row is going to be the hardest one to make sure that you get. Top and bottom is pretty easy. Very good. Okay, you're in the, you want to keep this finger here, because what I see you doing, you're going to be picking this thing up and you're going to be trying to go, now what cell am I in? And that's going to be really hard to do. So you want to keep this guy to help remember where you are. And you were in the 7th. No, you were in the 7th. Because here's 5, 6, 7th. Okay. Go to the 8th one. Oop. Oh, you're right. You were in the 6th one. I counted wrong. Go one more. Go to the 7th one. Okay, you're pushing too hard. If that little hand's turning red, then you're pushing too hard. Okay, go to the next one. You got that one full. Top right, top right. There you go. Okay, let's switch you. Let's go to this one and see if this one is a little bit easier for you. Top right. Oops, we don't want to pick it up and down, okay? We want to keep it connected all the time. Now, are you in the bottom right or are you in the middle right?
Bottom.
Bottom, okay, so you got to come back up and get that middle right. Okay, top left, middle, oops, jumped out of your cell, middle left, bottom left, okay? Whoop, wiggling and jiggling. So that means that the stylus probably isn't up in that notch where it needs to be. Okay, top left. Next one. Do you have a full, you have a whole row, don't you? No, we don't. I see. You want to hold it correctly, because if you're having to do that, then it's not strength. It is not strength. It does take some strength to do this, to do it for a long time, but look at how I'm doing this. Is this taking a whole lot of strength for us to push that dot in?
No.
No. So if I'm having to take my other hand and push really hard, the problem isn't my strength. The problem is I don't have that stylus in the right space, right? Okay, so middle right, bottom right, top left, middle left. Oops. Oh, we're still in the top left, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oops, we jumped into the wrong cell. Middle left, bottom left. Okay? Okay, we're going to do one more. Now, some fun stuff that we can do with this is we're not quite ready to braille the whole alphabet at this point. We're going to get to that point, but some fun stuff that we can do, and everybody loves doing this with me because they beat me, and I'm not always very accurate, except I did beat Stephanie yesterday, is we can have some races with getting the whole alphabet out and seeing how accurate we are with doing the alphabet. Cool. But we're going to do some practicing with just full braille cells like we're doing today, top row and bottom row. Okay? Let's do, after you finish that cell, let's go to the second row and just see if we can do a whole row of top cell. So we're going to do one, top right. Okay, go down to your third row then. Okay, we're going to do top right, top left, or 1 and then 4. Give you one other stylus to try. And this one, see how if you carry these guys around in your pocket, they might poke a hole. That's why we have some cases like this that hold the slate in here.
Yeah.
I mean the stylus in here.
Yeah.
This one, you can hold it in your pocket because you can, hold it here,
The top part.
unscrew that. This is an eraser. We couldn't do anything with that, could we? What was that? Please don't tell me we're having a fire drill. We're cutting this part of the video. Okay, let's try this one and see if this one helps you a little bit. Top right. Okay, now we're going to the second row. We're going to go top right, top left, top right, top left, top right.
I can't hold my hand steady.
Top right, top left. Your hands are really warm. I'm wondering if you've got a fever. Okay, go to the next one. Top right, top left. You're going to hear that pop if you come straight down. You're going to get that more. If you rock it in there, you don't hear your pop. Let me see. Beautiful. Beautiful. I see 1.5 in there. Oops, I see 2.5s. But all the rest are, and I see the first one you started in .2. But all the rest is a straight row of 1 and 4s. Very good. Okay, do a bottom row, which is a 3,
Wait, you want
and
me to continue down this row?
now I want you to come drop down to this one. So you're on your 1, 2, 3, 4th row. Do a 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6. Okay, I'm going to help you out. Okay, top left. Okay, let's get this finger right here. Top right. Wait a minute. That's top right. Don't pick it up so high. Okay. Top left. Next cell. Top right, and then push it up against that top to move over to the left. And I think you've got that. It just didn't pop. If you've pushed it that hard, it's probably gone in. Top right, top left, top right, top left, top right, top left, top right, top left. Good job with this finger. Now remember to slide this finger down. You don't want to poke them. Top right, top left, top right, push. Good. Top left. Oh, you want to hold straight up in there? You're holding it way too tight. Relax that hand. Okay, and let's scoot these fingers up like that. There you go. See now how you're using your palm of your hand now instead of your fingers. Oops, went way too far. Oops, way too far. Okay, now let's pull them out. We're going to trade cards. The slate ate your card. They're secure, aren't they?
No problem with somebody trying to steal your car.
No, nobody's going to steal your card. You might rip off the end.
Don't have to worry about that.
One thing you definitely
Okay. Now, let's go back over and read who did what. This one is, okay. Have you read, how many full braille cells did she have?
She put some of hers together without spaces.
She put pairs, yeah.
Yeah.
You did a couple of pairs, too. How many did she have?
8.
She had 8, okay.
She had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay, because she even went down to a second row. Did either of you miss any dots on your full braille cells?
No.
Okay, so what happened is, let's trade back again then and read this full braille cell. And see, this is what happens when you pick up. See, you jumped into that next cell, see? And you picked up, and you picked up. So you thought you got dot 6 right here, but you picked up and went into that next cell. So that's why it's very important to keep that stylus down into each of those cells. Okay, you did a great job. This one is yours, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you did a lot better with that top row, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, you got a nice straight line. Okay, so although this was our first lesson in slate and stylus in middle school, and you guys have been introduced to it last year, why have we not spent more time doing slate and stylus?
Technology.
Because we've had so many other things that we need to do. But is that really a good excuse?
No.
No, we need to get some practice going, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay, and we're not in the same place, are we? You might be ready for me to start giving you some letters for practicing with letters. We got to make it so that it's not so hard for your hand to push that down there, okay? So we'll have different stylus lessons from now on. But I am going to keep that stylus over there by the printer so that we have something in place for a start to practice. And the other desk over there beside our handwriting desk is where all this slate stuff is. So when you guys say, Miss Patillo, I just finished doing the math, or Miss Patillo, I'm finished with my writing assignment, what do you want me to do now? I'm going to say, go to the slate and stylus desk. Why don't you go ahead and do some practice? And these materials are all in there and you can pull them out. The other thing we need to do is I might go ahead and check out one of these cards to you guys so that you have one readily available. Okay? Questions for me? No?
Is it just me or is it hot in here?
It is hot in here. It's not just you. Your hands are burning
Definitely
up.
quite
I need to make sure you get some juice. Okay. The second lesson that I did was a slate and stylus lesson, and I had 2 students working together, which was a plus. It's not often that a student who's learning a skill like slate and stylus has the opportunity to have what is their best friend learning slate and stylus with them. So that was a plus, but it ended up turning into a negative because it was quite easy for one of them and quite difficult for the other one. And so I probably will not have them work on them together very often anymore. I will probably have them come back to work together when we start doing some races and things, but they'll probably have more fun racing against me because the students always beat me when we do Slate and Stylus races, especially when we get into writing sentences. They always beat me, and so it's great they can beat Miss Patillo, and it's because they're practicing more than I am. So we'll probably do some more activities like that. We had been talking about Slate and Stylus quite a bit, but not having much time to practice. I think they're both motivated to have a reason to use it. I think the student who found it a lot easier is going to be motivated to practice it quite a bit more than the student who found it difficult to do. I'm going to have to probably structure some required practice times with that student until she feels comfortable. It was real disappointing to me when I heard her say, "This is hard," because I don't think she expected that it was going to be hard, and that wasn't what I wanted to have happen. So with that student, I need to back up quite a bit and just do some more practice activities. She's thinking it's strength. It's not strength that she needs. It's just accurately locating where that cell is. The student who's having difficulty has less vision than the student who found it quite easy. She was using her vision to find the sides of the cell like I do, and I think that's another reason why it was a lot easier for her. So I've got to back up a bit with the first student who's having difficulty so that she can still see a need. There's definitely a need, and they established it with their assignments. They're losing print documents. They think they have this wonderful organization system set up, and it's not working for them. And so they need to get a portable slate that they can start labeling some things, and even phone numbers. They are meeting people, and then someone will tell them their phone number, and sometimes they'll pull out their Braille and Speak, but or their Braille Light, but they don't always have that with them. So I think they've bought into that there's a need for this, and then now motivating them to practice is the next step that we've got. The student who was finding it a lot easier, she's ready to start working with some of the upper cell letters like A and C, or maybe A and K, so she's just adding that one cell. She's ready to do some competition against me, and then doing some simple words, but I couldn't move into that because the student who I had working with her was getting way too frustrated with how hard it was. Basically what this lesson ended up being was like an assessment tool for me to see where they are. I definitely need to work with both of them on how to get the paper into the slate. We're going to stay with just doing that index card. One reason why I like that is it's short. It's not those big long rows of getting lost. So it's easier to keep track of where you are, and we can even do some, she does one side, I do the other side, and we compare and see who was accurate and check each other's work that way. So she's ready to move into some of those kinds of games, which I need to get into her lesson plans.